Hi, welcome back to Armor. We are proud to introduce the Pharos II. This is one of the most prestigious bows in form of quality, performance, all aspects for that matter of fact. Right? This is how the bow comes in. So what you get with the bow is a professional sight. You get a riser. You get the limbs, magnetic arrow rest, Allen keys, screw type arrow rest. You have the string silencing first, the limb twang silencer. You have again a built-in arrow rest which protects it and the string, and this is the box. Now, during the course of the video, we've already mentioned what all comes with the set. We're going to discuss the specifications of the bow, why this bow is really one of the best bows in the market, and what are the specifications and advantages of this bow. We'll also be discussing the material built up and an overall video of what the Pharos II is. Now, when you come across this site, the installation of this site, there is a link attached in the caption below. Please have a look at that to understand how the site is to be installed. Alright. Now moving further, you have a very high quality stress dispersing and absorbing mag alloy riser. This mag alloy riser comes with a very fancy wooden grip. You can see how the entire riser is shaped, showing the cuts and the chamfers on both sides. When you see this riser, you have the fitments where you can install the sight. This is where the plunger button can be installed. You have the stabilizer which can be installed over here. Now if you notice very carefully, this entire riser is an IRF riser. You don't have the bolt action system. This entire riser, you just need to click and lock in the limbs, which will be showing you during the course of the assembly. Right now, what comes, you have the bow comes installed with a inbuilt shooting shelf. So what this does is that you'll have it basically placed in this manner. So in case you want to shoot this bow without using a magnetic arrow rest or a screw type arrow rest, you can just shoot it off the shelf itself. Now this will protect not only the the bow shelf, but it will also protect the wall of the bow. So this acts as a complete guard, prevents the scratching when the arrows shooting off, so on and so forth. This entire screw gets attached from the rear end over here. Alright, but once you use this, you cannot insert a plunger button during that when this is installed. Now moving further to the limbs come with carbon foam. It's got wood core, then it's got a thin layer of carbon fiber. It's got Gordon tough US made fiberglass coated on it. These are the limbs. When you get the limbs, you get these two blue color caps. Before installation, make sure that you remove the caps. The bow comes in the range of 40 to 45 pounds. That's the draw weight that you get. Now when you get this, you hold your bow. This is the back of the bow. This is the face or the belly of the bow. This is where you hold it. Once you raise your riser this way, this is the lower segment of the bow. This is the upper segment of the bow. When you look at the limbs, when it's written up over here, it's very simple that this goes to the upper segment, right? Now in case of ILF, all you need to do is just slip in the bolt into the section and push so it jams in. There is a mild play, but this play goes off once you string the bow. Similarly, take the lower end, hold it back, slip it in between the channel over here, and jam it in. There. So even once the limbs are installed, how much ever you wiggle the bow, limbs will not come off. There is a play, but that will again go with the stringing. In case you need to silence your bow further, use these felt based materials to stick it near the string groove over here. This will reduce the noise of the twang. That means when you're pulling the bow and releasing it, the twang with the string makes when it's hitting the limbs will completely silence out or will reduce dramatically. Alright. Now to move further, I'm going to show you how to install the string. This is how your bow looks. Before that, if you want to use the screw type arrow rest, you insert it over here. Make sure and you tighten it in a manner where it goes all the way in. The arrow should be perpendicular to the string. It shouldn't come a little bit too out. It shouldn't go too deep in. Otherwise, the angle of the shooting will change. Right now, when you're tightening this screw type arrow rest, make sure that the horn is towards the back of the bow, facing the target. To realize what the back of the bow, this is where your stabilizer insert is. So this always faces the target. Okay. In case you don't want to use the screw type arrow rest, you can also use a magnetic type arrow rest, which is provided with the kit. You have to align it with the plunger hole this way. It comes with a very strong 3M double-sided tape which will adhere to your riser very well. Make sure it is perpendicular. It shouldn't be cross in this manner or shouldn't be upwards this manner. This is how you need to install it, right? And again, once you rest your arrow on it, the arrow releases, there's a click, it comes back to its original position. That's the magnetic arrow rest. Now when you use this, when you come across these two string furs, what you need to do is, they're two separate components. Just below the end serving over here, you can twine it between the rope and then string it up. I'm not going to show this because that's going to ruin the entire fur, but you can silence it. So when you're shooting and you're going for hunting or something, you can reduce the whip sound of the string. So this is what you get again. And you also have the horse leather arrow rest. So when you're installing this, if you don't need it in this manner, what you need to do is curl this up. The direction of the fur is this way, so install it towards the outside and just stick it in over here. This allows you to shoot the arrow using the fur, right? And you can even use a smaller piece also. You can slice it in the middle and use a smaller piece of it. This depends on you. Now I'll show you how to string the bow. So when you get the bow string, you have two loops to your string, the smaller loop and the larger loop. Generally there's a mistake, people string the bow using it this way. You're not supposed to string it making the string stay. In fact, you need to take it from the back of the bow here. So install the smaller loop into the lower limb section and string it from the back. So when you see the string, this cut over here is called the string groove. The string will pass through the string groove this manner. I'll show you how to move forward with it. So you keep the tension onto the string and place the bow onto your foot this manner. Now dangle the bow and the string such as this. I am right-handed, so my right hand is dominant, and I'm going to place my right leg in between the bow and the string. So what happens is that the bow limb locks onto my shin of the left leg. Now lift your hand up to the sky and bend the limb to reach the loop over here. Many a times we have observed that people pull the string. The string is not elastic. The elasticity of the bow comes from the limbs. That's the limbs. Once this is installed, make sure it's aligned and step out. This is how your string has to be installed. So if your string is off the loop, that means the loop of the string comes out of these grooves, the string grooves over here, you may damage the string. Make sure that they fit in snug in this manner. Secondly, this is the string groove. Align it in a way where it's centralized and locks in. If you can hear the click, it has to lock in. So both the sections have to lock in so they align perfectly. This is your Pharos II bow assembly. Now what is ILF? If you see, there are adjustments over here where you have the Allen screws where you can adjust it left and right, up and down. You can increase 5 pounds in this. So use the adjustments. These bows come pre-adjusted when we send them to you, but in case you find there is a small deflection, you can adjust it as per your requirement. Just be very careful whereas the bolts and locks are concerned. You have the Allen wrenches for all the adjustments which are given to you within the set, which are these. Okay, never try to take this bolt off. You can take it off, but then do not lose any components. You can tighten this to increase and decrease 5 pounds, but do not try to take it off at all in any sort of manner. Now once you assemble the bow, pull the string back around 2 or 3 inches and let it loose. So the entire bow will set in its place, right? Now once you're done over here, do not dry fire your bow. Dry fire is when you pull the bow all the way back and release the string without an arrow. When you do that, all the energy gets transferred to the limb and it can shatter and damage your bow completely. So do not please dry fire your bow. Alright, and this is your Pharos II. So the description of the Pharos II is mentioned in the caption below. You have the contact number and the website where you can purchase the Pharos. We have very limited stocks of the Pharos. They're fast moving, so make your purchase soon. Thank you.